Let's talk about drugs. You like them? You have some? Can I have some? No, I don't want any. I'm an addict in recovery. I have been in recovery for the last 5 years, 7 months, and 25 days as I make this right now. Since June of 2019, I've been in recovery. And I want to talk about someone wrote me and they said, I heard you say that your thoughts shape your reality, but my thoughts keep telling me that I'm a fraud every day that I don't use drugs. And I thought this was really poignant, and it's a part of everyone's recovery journey. When you start to dismantle your patterns and behaviors, there's going to be a lot of different parts that come up inside of you that tell you that you are innately wrong. That's not your spirit talking to you. Your spirit is never going to talk to you with anything negative, no sense of urgency. Spirit is always calm and so complimentary and so proud of you and everything that you're doing. But the addiction wants to thrive and live and continue to be part of your life. And so it will say really messed up things to make you think that you're actually on the wrong path. So just remember to always put things through the lens of spiritual principles. Are my actions aligned with unconditional love, acceptance, tolerance, honesty, open mindedness, willingness? If they are, then you're doing a great job. Okay. So there's a bunch of different parts that come up, like in shadow work or internal family systems that protect the addict. And, so they protect the addiction. So the protector part is one of them. And it says things like, if we numb this, we don't have to deal with it. And it thinks that it's protecting you for something. And that could go for good or bad things. It could be something like fear or sadness, but it could also be joy and elation. My addiction didn't give an F what was going on with me. It just wanted to use. So whether I was congratulating myself, like, oh, you did so great today, whatever, you made it to the welfare office before it closed, or whether I was dealing with, some level of sadness, like, oh, hey, you're about to be evicted again. I wanted to use no matter what. The inner critic comes up a lot. And when I get to work with people individually, we spend a lot of time designing these parts, like when people actually show up for the work. Big wink. The inner critic says things like you're not good enough, you're failing, and addiction can really quiet that voice. Like if you numb out with something or you get yourself all stimulated on something, you're not going to be able to hear the inner critic. So a lot of people, that's what's going on. There's exiled parts that come up, like these deep, deep inner wounds that hold on to things like childhood trauma and rejection and loss. And the addiction just acts as a barrier into keeping all those feelings away. But the pain doesn't actually go away, it's just buried. So, really, what you're doing is you're just prolonging the inevitable. I remember that. Like I ran away from recovery for so long. I was on drugs for 22 years, every day, 22 years. It was like my whole life. And I was running from like just a couple of weeks of pain, and I ran for 22 years. If I just would have sat and just felt my feelings and just dealt with it, man, I could have saved myself a lot of grief, but everything happens the way that it's supposed to. And that's what faith does for you. Another thing that comes up in shadow work around addiction is this shadow of shame. Addiction often just covers shame up, the feeling of unworthiness, the feeling of not being enough. But guess what, y'all? You are worthy of all the love in the universe. You are worthy of all the love in the universe. You really, truly are. Believe it. Say it out loud. Stand up. Put your hands on your hips. Affirm it out into the universe. You are worthy of all the love in the universe. I am worthy of all the love in the universe. That's right. That part of us just really needs compassion. That's all that it really needs. Um, there's like this fearful inner child comes up. It's really vulnerable. It feels scared and unsafe. And so the addiction comes in as a way to shield it and says, like, don't worry, baby. We're safe. I got you. And it's really just numbing you out to the awareness. What are these parts trying to protect you from? That's the question that needs to be asked. What is your addiction need for it to feel safe? I'm going to tell you, I've done a lot of character development around my own addiction. I talk about him often. His name is Richard. He's a man because my addiction is a man. He's a gay man. My addiction is a gay man. Meth head. And He's relentless. He's brutal. He just wants to show up in everything. He lives inside of a glass house inside my mind. There's Venetian blinds. Yeah, he's gay. He hates Venetian blinds, but they're there. He pokes his head out like a little tweaker looking to see what's going on, and he's constantly yelling through the seams of the glass house, and he says, "Come on, just one drink. It's not that bad. They'll still love you when you come back." Talking about my 12-step fellowship, if I was to leave and come back. It's okay if you relapse. Everybody will still love you. And my addiction just really wants to come along on the ride with me. And the thing about coming into recovery, it's not like you let go of drugs and your whole life gets better. I mean, mine did. I believe in miracles. But, in all reality, a lot of other manifestations of addiction popped up in my life when I let go of drugs. I became fully aware of all the other areas where addiction was ruling my life that I didn't know about before because I was too unaware. I was too sedated with drugs. So my eating disorders all came out full force, and man, they were hardcore. They were so hardcore. I'm an eating disorder recovery today. My limerence, person obsession, that was bad. I have like people have gotten restraining orders against me from being so obsessed with them. That had to be healed. I still do a lot of work healing that aspect of myself. Technology addiction, porn and masturbating addiction, there's sugar addiction. Like, come on, there's so many things. Why are there so many things? Codependency, the childhood wounds from being the daughter of addicts, and my parents leaving Earth intentionally, and there's a lot of healing has to go on. So, letting go of drugs is just the first step in the journey. And then you get this awesome opportunity to step into the real healing and manifesting a life beyond your wildest dreams. I'm a member of 12-step fellowship, but we don't promote ourselves. But I'll tell you that it starts with the letter N and it ends with the letter A. And that's the fellowship that I belong to. And it doesn't matter. Whatever A saves your A. There's a 12-step fellowship for literally everything. Get yourself into a meeting, okay? If you're doing recovery by yourself, guess what? You're in bad company, bro. You're with the last person who got you into this mess in the first place. Go find other people. Listen, we came here in tribes. We came here in soul families and groups. But not only that, think about the beginning of time. If you didn't have a tribe of people supporting you, you would die. Okay? You die. So you need other people. We all do. Get with them. Find them. If you're a man and you're on the spiritual journey, go find a group of divine masculines. Like they're waiting for you. Set intention. I welcome my soul family into my life. That's the intention that I set. And then all of the members of my soul family manifested in my life. And they continue to manifest in my life because I embody the belief system that I deserve good people to come my way because I really, really do. And so do you because you're worthy of all the love in the universe, my friend. I'm going to leave it there. Be wavy.